Okay, in this video we're going to assemble the bottom panel of the Autobot. The parts we'll need to do this: we have a 3-pin jumper cable which will connect the sensor up. We have the bottom panel. Notice the markings on the bottom panel. You have back and inside. This panel has a standoff already glued onto it for the caster. We have the caster with the corresponding hardware, 1-inch 440 screw with a nylon insert nut. And then we have the line sensor. The line sensor is attached with a standoff, 3/4 inch 440 screw and a crown nut. And then we have 2 skid plates, and to attach those we need 3/4 inch 440 screws with corresponding nuts. Okay, let's get started. We'll start with the caster. So from the inside, I want to put the 1-inch screw through the inside in the standoff, and then I have insert the caster onto the screw there, and then back it up with the nylon insert nut. And the nylon insert nut is important because we need the caster to be free, but the nut needs to be secure so it doesn't wiggle itself off during operation. Now, the nylon insert nut, you will need to have a pair of needle nose pliers to hold the nut. So I want it tight enough to hold the caster securely, but not so tight that it can't rotate freely. Okay, so it's secure, but still rotates freely. Okay, next we're going to work on the line sensor. So we have 3 holes here. The outside holes are for the skid plates, and the center hole is for the line sensor. Obviously the line sensor goes on the outside. So the caster, this is the back of the robot, and then the front is on this side, of course. Here we'll have the 2 wheels, and the line sensor is going to go underneath here. So we'll turn it over and start with the skid plates. The best way to attach these is to put a screw in from the inside in one of the outer holes, and just put one of the nuts on with a few turns, and then you can slide the skid plate right in through the T-slot, and then you just tighten that up. Okay, and then you can just kind of line it up there. Make sure it's perpendicular. Okay, the next thing we'll do is put the line sensor on, so the 3/4 inch machine screw. I have the standoff next, and then the line sensor. The line sensor has 2 holes. I'm going to use the center hole, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the nut on that. This is a crown nut. Lost it there. Okay, and tighten that up. Okay, you want it reasonably tight, but not so tight that you're going to break the board, of course. Okay, now the other skid plate, I'm going to put the screw in from the inside, a couple turns on a nut, and then I can just put the skid plate right into the nut to the T-slot, and then I'm just going to screw that down. Okay. Here we go. So you can see it from this side. So as the robot moves across the floor, it's not going to damage the line sensor. And then finally we have the three cable 3-pin connector for the line sensor. So what you can do here is just fish the cable through, and you want the black wire. Let me show you this here. So unfortunately, this line sensor, the markings are on the top of the board on the other side, so you can't see them. But to show you here, here's another sensor. I can see the 3 pins, ground. The middle is the data pin or out, and then VCC on this side. So if I'm holding it this way, I have ground on this side. So I want to make sure that the black wire of the cable is on the left side, looking down on it. Just insert that, and then I have that ready to go. So that's the first part of the bottom panel. In the next section, we'll attach the Arduino. The Arduino goes here, and that will complete the bottom panel assembly.